If you're looking to advertise, sponsor, or be a guest on Convo with Sino to talk about your business or event, or you have a powerful story or testimony, email info@convowithsino.com or visit www.convowithsino.com.
Mic check. What's happening, y'all? This your man, Corey Wig. Thanks for tuning in to another fire episode of Convo with Sino. So as you see, I'm not in my usual studio today. I took a visit to my hometown, Gary, Indiana, to interview a gentleman who, been known for a while. He's been doing some amazing things in the city, helping a lot of people, and that's what this show is about, creating innovative new opportunities. And so we got a hot episode for you today. Again, thanks for tuning in, rocking with your boy. And as you can see, thanks for tuning in to our first live face-to-face interview on Convo with Sino. So we got a lot more of these coming, to you live and direct. So I'm going to get right into it. So this show, as you can see, my decor is a little different. I got a little sip. I got, some cigars. And to introduce this, I got a gentleman who's a business owner, an entrepreneur. He's a club owner, and he just started his own cigar brand. And so straight out of the city, Gary, Indiana, GI, none other than my guest for today, Mr. Winfred Owens. What's up, my brother?
How you doing?
Awesome, man. Let's toast it up, man. Welcome to Convo with Sino, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for having me.
Yes, sir. So this is gonna be an episode about, fine things. Starting off with our cigars. So we can get into our cigars a little later, but again, man, welcome to the show, man.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. So what's been going on, man? Tell me about this your club here, man. Q's Ultra Lounge. What's
Q's
going on?
Lounge started first of all. The lounge is named after my son, Sin K. It's K's Lounge, but a lot of people like to call it Q's, which is fine with me. But the name of it is K's Lounge. It all started in 2007.
So hold on. It's not Q's, it's K's.
It's pronounced K's.
Hey, see, you learn something new every day. I believe everybody in the city of Gary calls this Q's.
Yeah, my son's name is spelled CINQUE. So what we did was I just dropped the CIN and kept the QUE for K's Lounge.
And it makes sense. Okay.
Well, he's named after the character in Amistad.
Okay. And I know you're a deep brother, man. I've actually got a chance to, hang out with you and ride with you and just see how you operate in the life of a, entrepreneur, businessman, and just a go-getter, man. And again, that's what this show is about. So, tell me a little bit about yourself, man. How you got, growing up in Gary, and how you kind of started in your entrepreneur, endeavors or what have you.
Well, growing up in Gary, as you know, I grew up in Door Miller, the projects of Door Miller.
Okay.
And by the 5th grade, I moved to Miller, and I started a little transition. Things was a little different. But growing up out there, I didn't really know the difference between poverty and, the have and the have-nots, because my parents always worked. It just was a condition. I'm assuming redlining where, they redlined some of us back then in house.
Okay.
So that was the only difference with me. But at the end of the day, I had amazing parents, brothers and sisters, cousins, and we always come from a competitive family. And so that competitiveness as a youngster with my brothers, I didn't never want to work for nobody.
Now speaking of family, man, I know your family. You got a big family in the city of Gary, man. How was that kind of growing up and, you know, kind of being, like you say, competitive? And so are you like the black sheep of the family by you being an entrepreneur, or is other entrepreneurs in the family?
Well, I'm basically the main one as far as being an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Got a little sister, Sonia. She used to do designs, and you know, she went to school of Pearson's for fashion. Okay. And so, with that being said, yeah, I was pretty much the main one to put a footprint in doing something as far as being an entrepreneur.
Okay. So what was one of your first entrepreneur businesses? What was your first official business as an entrepreneur?
Believe it or not, I shared a paper route with my cousin Vincent Goods on the west side.
Okay.
Here. So I just go work there and do the paper route with him.
So from paper boy to entrepreneur club owner and now cigar brand owner, you know, so humble beginnings pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, growing up in Gary. And so what made you get into the club industry?
Well, as a youngster, going out to Screaming Wheels.
Okay.
I mean,
GI. See, these are GI terms right here. Screaming Wheels. You know, everybody from GI would know about Screaming Wheels for sure.
So at the end of the day, with Screaming Wheels, it's just like I would say, like anybody else, if you was in acting, you take and you see your first stage or you go to your first movie, some people get it's called an acting bug. Okay. So for me, seeing Screaming Wheels and seeing the vibe and everything as a kid, I was like, wow, one day maybe I'll get my own club. So I think it all started with just seeing the action of people enjoying themselves, and like I wanted something a part of that. Okay. And so that's what pretty much gave me an idea of having my own. Gotcha.
So how long have you been here at this beautiful establishment? And by the way, man, it's definitely just a vibe in here, man. You did some great things. So how long have you actually operated K's Lounge?
It's going on 7 years.
7 years, man. And so, did you have any challenges like with the city with permits and, you know, different clubs? Like, what was the vibe when you first started? What was the vibe in Gary 7 years ago when you first opened? Did you have any challenges?
I had a few challenges. The first challenge was the permit. Well, it wasn't that I couldn't just have the permit. You had to have an architect. So the first thing, I went through one architect in Chicago. He gave me bad drawings. The drawings weren't stamped, so I couldn't use them with the city. So then I paid for that dearly too. And then I had to get a second architect, which I got the stamp. They sent it downstate to Indianapolis because at the time you had to have Homeland Security approve all your drawings, and then they sent them back to the state to let you know, or to the city rather, to let you know whether or not you'd be approved to start the process. Okay. So it was a little painstaking, but patience paid off.
Okay. So, I mean, just another tip for aspiring entrepreneurs, you know, that it's everything's not going to be easy in the beginning. Is that fair to say?
It's accurate.
Okay.
Fair. It's accurate.
Okay.
You know, it's going to be a lot of challenges. It's going to be a lot of things to where, you know, it's going to make you want to quit. People don't believe in you. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, the worst thing you can have is doubting yourself.
Ooh, man.
You know, and things come across you to make you kind of worry about that if you're going to make it to the finish line. But for me, I'm always seeing the finish line. I don't see the hurdles that come. I know that they're there, and when they hit me, I'm human. I'm like anybody else. But yet and still, my eyes always on the prize, the end results.
So is that kind of what keeps you motivated during the times when people don't believe or the doubt? What's that other driving force? Like, is it your family, son? What's the driving force that kind of keep you going when the haters just kind of flood on you?
Well, I think that what keeps me going the most is something in the back of my mind that always tell me to learn more, to do more. Because if I learn more, do more, I'll be able to to give more. And the problem with that is sometimes you don't get the proper support that you need, especially from people of color, to be able to even give more. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because what's in your heart, that's in your heart. And I don't know where that drive comes from, but that's what drives me every single day. I can't sleep at times because I got goals and I got dreams, and I know that I'm supposed to be there and I'm supposed to achieve those things. And so that's what keeps me going, more so than anything.
You know, it kind of reminds me of, you old enough to remember Bruce Lee. And, you know, this scene where Bruce Lee, he was surrounded by the school, and I'm telling you, he kicked everybody's butt, right? Bruce Lee, and I think that's how entrepreneurs have to be. You know, when people just piling on you, you just got to be kicking and karate chopping, just getting people up off you to get your goal across, man. So
the biggest fight you're gonna have is with yourself. It's not about the people that's around you, you know what I mean? Because they're there for a reason. Some of them there to cheer you on, some of them there to put roadblocks in front of you. Nevertheless, you got to believe in yourself. Yeah. And if you don't have that belief, then you might as well forget it. Don't even start.
Wow, that's a bomb. That's a bomb. We got to drop the bomb for that one, man. So you got the club, and you know had some challenges. Now you're open 7 years. I mean, they say most businesses don't last 5 years. So you hit that success level where it's sustainable. You concrete in the city. I know a lot of the class reunions happen here, and I know the summertime is a pretty big time for you. Is that right?
Yeah, summertime is the best time for me. Sometimes in the wintertime it tapers off because people have other things, and I'm not mad about that. Yeah. At the end of the day, I built the place not just for me. I built it because I grew up at a time in Gary where we had nice establishments and people had a good time coming out. Yeah. And again, being from Screaming Wheels and seeing that excitement, that's what I want to bring something here for young entrepreneurs. Somewhere we can have a place to go. The people who work City Hall, post office, or that matter, the young people, meaning young people with career minded. That was my whole plan. Yeah. I want to bring something nice because I travel a lot, so I see places and I see things like why do we don't have this in our own city? Right. So that's what drives me too, man. To bring something nice, to bring something comfortable and meaningful to the people of Gary.
Yeah. And I know you've had a lot of artists come through. I see you in your social media is blowing up. Shout out to K Caesar and all the DJs that come through here, man. So any kind of nameable artists that you kind of remember?
Well,
memorable times, or
K Caesar does a really remarkable job when he out DJing. But we had a really good experience with Kid Capri.
Kid Capri, okay.
Yeah, a guy named Vicious from Fatso's Lounge. Okay. He brought him here. He was a promoter, and that was the best time, I think. Wow. As far as for people and building some kind of memory to connect that bridge from New York to here. Yeah. It was an amazing time at that time.
And speaking of Gary, while we're here, what's your take on the Jackson legacy? From Michael, and what's kind of your, like when people say, because you travel a lot, and I travel a lot too. So normally when I say I'm from Gary, they say, "Oh, Michael Jackson."
First thing they say, Michael Jackson.
So is that like something? Because some people have their opinions on Mike. I still love him, man. That's my dude, man. He's always gonna be the king. What's kind of your take on that when people refer to you, us as Gary is Michael Jackson?
Well, my take on Michael Jackson, at the end of the day, you looking at it from a personal level, or you looking at it from a business level or responsible. Michael Jackson left here when he was 7 years old, or something like that, 8, 9. At the end of the day, when he went out to, whether it was Detroit or LA, that whole scope of his mindset changes. So I think that we put way too much responsibility on Michael Jackson for Michael Jackson to come back and do something for the city of Gary, when it should have been the responsibility is on his parents, Joe and Catherine, in my my opinion.
Okay.
Because if my son did something like that, and I'm sure that, of course, they had a big influence on him as to where he make his donations, because that's just a child asking his parent what should he do, and from parental advice.
Yeah.
But I think that the responsibility don't always lie on Michael Jackson. Now, could he have done more? Of course,
Yeah.
But then again, maybe he could have done something. Maybe he had a block. Maybe he had some challenges that we don't know about. That the city could have been, blocking or making him have so many disadvantages to. At the end of the day, no matter what kind of money you have and what kind of money you don't have, a challenge and a disadvantage at some point it's a breaking point to where you won't even come in and try to make some changes that's so desperately needed in Gary, Indiana.
Yeah. Man, another bomb, man. That's why I like talking to you, man. I mean, just a wealth of knowledge and your perspective. It's just it's priceless, man. So got the club. So now this latest venture. Your latest venture is, I see here we got the Winfred Owens Cigar Brand. And the Jewels, I see the sign is what is it? Jewels
Cigar Lounge.
Jewels Cigar Lounge. So what made you delve into the cigar business? I mean, you've been successful. I mean, you got real estate. What intrigued you, or what's the business model behind the cigar?
The crazy part is that I've been reading the Wall Street Journal since I was in high school. We'll take a pause.
Yeah, let's.
I was reading the Wall Street Journal since I was in high school, at Word High School, and I believe it was 1987, 89, where the Cigar Aficionado magazine came out.
Okay.
And I'm reading this magazine. And it was a magazine that stayed, for the good life. It was just about articles that they would have with different celebrities, entrepreneurs. And so me reading that magazine kind of sparked somewhat of an idea of not having my own cigar, because I would have never dreamed that. If somebody told me that you would have your own cigar one day, I wouldn't have believed it. And it's a work in progress. But with the magazine, you would see they had a World Series of Poker. Some of the guys who have won championships, the first thing they grabbed was a cigar.
Yeah.
And so I would just keep reading the magazine all the way up. I think I was 17, 18 years old, reading the magazine. Never smoked a cigar then. But nevertheless, I was reading the information about cigars and kind of what they were done, how they were made, where they were made.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sparked some kind of interest in cigar. But nevertheless, I would have never known, say 20 years or 25 years from that point, that I'll be sitting here smoking my own cigar.
Man,
I can't make that up.
Man, hold on, man. I gotta. That's amazing, man. That's amazing, man. So this was inspired, and magazines, I think, have like us growing up. Magazines were the bomb. Like you could, from the Rob Report, Cigar Aficionado, Sports Illustrated. That was really our social media back in the day. I mean, you can get your knowledge from, you had the newspaper, magazine, and then the encyclopedias, what I'm saying, back in the day.
Yeah.
So now with social media, man.
The click of a mouse.
Exactly.
Or Facebook.
Exactly.
Like that.
So then the internet, technology, so now we get information a lot more faster. So we got the cigar brand, and so the name the Cigar Lounge that you're creating, how did that name become inspired? How you get inspired by the name? So K is your son.
My son.
Is Jewel somebody? Somebody special?
So that's my mother. So I'm a mama's boy, and my mom just dragged me all around.
Shout out, Mom.
Everywhere. And so, at the end of the day, I got a lot of love from my mother. And so, I want to.
So hold on, you just not a cold-hearted businessman. I see you kind of like. I mean, you can be, I'm sure, because in business you got to be. But
people don't understand.
You got a heart for your family because you name your business after your son and the other business after your mom.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's awesome. And I think that's what legacy is about. When we talk about legacy building, That's a legacy, you
So
know?
my mom recently had a stroke, maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to kind of do something in tribute to my mother. You know, whether one day I'll do a foundation, do a scholarship fund, but I'll do something in the name of my mother.
Yeah.
And so that was the brainchild of Jewel's Cigar Lounge. And the sign outside, you know, bears her name. Her favorite color is purple. And so I can't wait to get started upstairs because it's going to be something truly amazing when I finish.
Yeah, I think every son would want to do something like that for their parents, and every father wants to do so. Man, that's definitely inspiring. So the cigar business model, like, how did you get into, like, what's the start of doing something like this?
One day, I'd say back in 2022, interestingly enough, I'm still reading Cigar Aficionado magazine, and I came across this article, and they were talking about cigars being imported into America. So there was, at one point, Cuba, as you know, was the #1 importer before the embargoes.
Okay.
And then Honduras, Costa Rica, and then, not Costa Rica, but the other place, the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So all of them kind of had a stranglehold on the imported cigars to America. And so all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this place, Nicaragua, became just #1 importer of cigars.
Right.
So when I read the article, I said, wow, they imported 500 million cigars to America last year. And once I read that article, I just like, this is a no-brainer for me. I'm on my way to Nicaragua.
So hold on. Now I know this, you know, you talk off camera, but you went to Nicaragua?
Yeah, I went to Nicaragua. I didn't know a soul. I didn't know anything.
This is not like a tourist type of place. This is not a popular.
No, it's Central America, which can be, you know, kind of rough. But I did some research, and ironically, I made some phone calls. And when I made the phone call, someone answered the phone, and we talked. And then I was like, hey, listen, I'm interested in doing some cigars. And this particular person, he helped me. And I got there. When I got there, September, I think it was September 22nd or 23rd. I left right after the Roosevelt class reunion that we had here.
Okay, yeah.
And I just went. And it's one of those statements, when I got there, it was almost midnight. And I got in a taxi. I didn't speak no Spanish. And I rode for 4 hours to get to my destination. And when I got there the next morning, you know, I met the guy, and we had breakfast, and we talked, and he had people lined up for me to meet. And ironically, I met this young lady, and she took me around, and the rest is history, I would say.
Yeah. And so you're in Nicaragua, and you don't know a soul. And see, this is what you call like the determination, the determining factor that separates people who just talk the talk and people who walk the walk. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I would say this. In the beginning, you said what kind of drive me.
Yeah. Sometimes
for an entrepreneur, it might be something. It could be a whisper. You know what I'm saying? I guess if you sit still long enough, you hear something. Yeah. And that's in my case. Yeah. It said, "Hey, go," you know, and I just went. I didn't know nobody again. And I guess it's that old statement that's in the Bible, because when I got there the first time, I felt kind of protected. I felt kind of like maybe in spiritual people in the church, it was like I was in God's hands.
Yeah.
Because in the statement it says, "Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death."
Come on,
so I was there. I ain't fear nothing. I just went. And just some good things came about from that result of me going.
Yeah.
And you know, it's more to come. Well, a whole lot more exciting things for me to do. I'm just beginning.
Welcome. I'm Corey S. Williams, an executive director at Legal Shield, dedicated to providing families and businesses with affordable access to the expertise of attorneys. But my journey doesn't stop at just legal services. I'm here to empower individuals, transform lives, and shape futures. Get access to a nationwide network of law firms for only $29 a month for you and your family. Go to www.cinolc.com and click Legal Services to sign up today. Convo with Sino would like to thank Midwest Custom Print specializes in helping small businesses and corporations' digital and print branding come to life. www.midwestcustomprint.com. You think it, we create it.
So tell me about your brand and tell me a little bit about your cigars and what more can we expect? Like what brand of cigars? For those who don't know, or kind of like, just getting into cigars.
Well,
So what are we smoking now?
right now you're smoking a torpedo. That's a Maduro.
Maduro.
I'm smoking a Churchill. A Churchill Maduro.
Okay.
But maybe we'll smoke a few different ones before the end of the show.
Okay.
Even if we just try them and light them up.
Yeah.
Well, what inspired me most was with the cigars, being an entrepreneur, just thinking, that's the way my mind works. I was like, wow. Once I read those articles, and you see Spanish people, and then it's like anybody else that got a dream. If you see something, well, guess what? I don't see us. You know what I mean? So, okay, we smoke. So at the end of the day, let's put our face on something because we always buying. We the number one people buying stuff in America.
Yeah.
Why not buy from our own people?
Consumers.
And so, that's what kind of drove me.
So you saying that there's not really black owned or black cigar brands?
It's not. Well, you have some.
Okay.
It's a bunch of us, because once we hear and know about something, I'm not the only one.
Okay.
So it's going to be a bunch of us that take that leap of faith and go and try, starting their own brand. And I applaud them because those are not the people that, that a celebrity attached their name to. And then, okay, here's a cigar just because it's a celebrity. Then next thing you know, it's the hottest thing on the market. What about people like us, the hard-working people? I don't want to say small people because I don't think small by no means.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think that the people should be applauded for the ones who are from grassroots, I should say.
Yeah. How important is like traveling? Because I know you're a traveler. How important is travel, and what impact has travel had on the way you think, the way you do business, the way you operate? Like just visiting other countries, and I know we talked about the passport. So
Yeah,
I know you got a pretty full passport.
Yeah, I got it. It's amazing.
So what impact has travel had on your decision making and just your career, your business?
Well, a lot of the part from traveling. Traveling is probably one of the most important things that you can do because if you don't travel from outside your neighborhood, what else do you know?
Yeah.
And the world is a big place, and the world is a beautiful place. I've been to some beautiful places. I've been to some places that's not so beautiful.
Yeah.
In the end, it's a people thing. And then once you travel, you'll see all of us are the same. We all want the same things. We all eat the same food, believe it or not. It's not like you go to certain places, they serving food that America don't have or don't eat, you know. And I think that Americans, we got the big head when it comes to, like we the only ones. But in actuality, it's people living better than us in other countries.
Okay.
A lot better than we are.
In
With
your
a lot less racism and a lot less crime.
So in your travels, is it anywhere that you would like to, your dream location to retire to, or in your travels,
I think one of my favorite places that I've been, I got a lot of favorites. So
Okay.
I just put it this way. Maybe one day my entrepreneurial skills will lead me to have a house in Rome.
Okay.
A house Switzerland. I like Switzerland.
Okay.
South Africa was
See,
really,
this big
really
boy,
beautiful.
this big boy talk, y'all.
And,
This big boy talk.
France is nice. I was in Nice, France. I was in Monte Carlo. I was in Amsterdam. I've been to Abu Dhabi, Dubai. And all of those places, for me, make me want to forget about America. Just me being honest. So maybe when I do retire, it'll be a place like that. I don't want to retire in America. That's a fact.
Yeah. So, man, this has been an interesting conversation, man. What type of you talk about travel? What about your knowledge as far as like books in your library? How important is your library and studying and reading? How important? What impact has that had on your success?
Well, information is key. you know, and its potential power. But I've read a lot of books.
Okay.
I have a library, and so and it's continued to grow. I just bought a book. I was just listening to an audio book of Rich Paul, and then another book I just bought. I think it's called Hidden Gems.
Okay.
And it's by a guy from Harvard, and he was talking about the hidden gems and what makes you drive the creativity to success. And I bought the book, but I haven't started reading it yet. But I love to read. I love magazines. I love newspapers. And some people think that it's a cliche, and they may call you crazy, think you crazy. You know, ain't nothing crazy about nobody's thoughts. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you respect the next person's thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, because two thoughts can come together and make a bond.
Yeah.
You know.
So if you had one book that you would recommend, you stuck on an island, and you got one book, what would be that one book that you would want to have if you were stuck on an island?
That's a trick.
Besides the book, How to Get Off an Island.
That's a trick question.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I would say this: everything God say He made everything in pairs. You know what I mean? We got two eyes, we got a couple of teeth or whatever one knows, but two nostrils. At the end of the day, what I think the question would be your top 5 or your top 3 books.
Okay.
One, I'll probably
top 5.
I would take the Bible with me. You know.
Definitely.
Second, I would take one of my favorite books is The Richest Man in Babylon. And then my third book would be The Jewish Phenomenon. And the reason for the Jewish phenomenon, because people often misunderstand the Jews at times, but they are remarkable, no different than us. They overcame the obstacles of the Holocaust and things. We haven't overcame the obstacles of slavery yet. So at the end of the day, for them, then people wonder why they stick together, and everybody might not like or people in terms of their unity. So, I recommend that we can do anything anybody else done. Because from a scientific point of view, let them tell it, the black man was here first.
Okay. So,
and we'll probably be here last.
Okay.
When it's all said and done.
So you got the Bible, Richest Man in Babylon, the Jewish Phenomenon. You got 2 more.
2 more? Oh, wow. 2 more. A Long Walk to Freedom.
Okay.
Nelson Mandela's book.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. That was a good book for me. And then let me think, because I got a ton of books. Long Walk to Freedom. Believe it or not, wow. I'm gonna have one. I'm gonna have 2 more.
Okay.
Bill Clinton had a good book.
Okay.
Bill Clinton,
That's
a book.
Okay.
I read Obama's book.
Okay.
And Bill Clinton has an interesting story too. But I think the last one I like is called How the Federal Reserve Runs the Country.
Ah, okay.
It's a book on how, we talk about stimulus, we talk about bonds, we talk about stocks, T-bonds, all of that, and how the banks go to the Fed window to borrow money and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
That I like how the Federal Reserve run the country, because you look around, you don't see it, but it's there.
Okay.
It's there. It's in New York.
Man, and this is why I wanted to bring these topics up, because I want people to know that, the introspective person that you are, you know what I'm saying, and not just, coming from the street and I got a club and I'm successful, and you're not working on it. So you constantly working on yourself, growing as a person, and growing mentally, spiritually, all of that, and I think that's part of the wealth creation, not just being rich, but I think that's part of the wealth.
Well, when you talk about success and you think about success comes in a whole lot of stages. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like climbing a ladder, stairway to heaven. You might be on your first ladder of success, and everybody else might think you're successful, but in your mind, you only on your first step, because there's phases to it, And where that phase ends, only you know. So the public can judge you and say you're a success. In your heart, you can say, well, man, I ain't a success at all. I'm still failing because I'm failing to learn the things that's going to continue to make me a success.
Yeah.
You know, everything has its growth point to where it's going to grow to its maximum ability, and then it stops. But you all talk about it's a regrowth. You know what I'm saying? And in that regrowth period, that's where you actually going to probably find your most success. You know, because you can't, there's no success, you can't go to your highest heights until you reach your lowest lows. You know, you got to hit the ground.
Another bomb, man.
And the ground is there for you to walk on, but it ain't for you to stay on the ground, I would say. You know?
I mean, and so you took me upstairs to the creation as you're building the cigar lounge, and it's gutted out, but you had a vision of every part of that upstairs, from the door to the stairs. Where does that come? Like, how do you create these visions and then it manifests? Like, what's the psyche behind you just having this vision and then it manifesting and then you making it happen? Because I'm sure it was the same with the club, with the lounge.
The vision comes from, it's like putting letters together to spell a word. You know what I mean? When you put all the letters together, V-I-S-O-N, guess what? You got a vision. And in that vision, sometimes it comes from different places of the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can come from lack thereof.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it can come from heartbreaking, experiences.
Yeah.
You know, it can come from financial, hardships. Visions come from a whole lot of different places. And so that's why they're so important for people to have. And with the vision that I saw here, I saw something when I first walked through the door, and when I bought the place, I was like, oh wow, yeah, I can do this. And the reason why it said to me why I can do it because all the places I've been, all the things that I've seen. And so this here is just the start.
That sounds like a song. All the places, all the things I've done.
Yeah, well, some people say I did what they said I couldn't do. I went where they say I couldn't go.
Come on now.
Some that's in some songs.
Okay.
I'm a living example of that. I never put no limits on where I can go.
Yeah.
The problem is just who's gonna go with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody can come along for the ride, but actually who's gonna stay with you for long term in terms of reaching that ultimate goal.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal for me is in the end death. I just want to make sure that I leave something better behind, not just for my kids, just for anybody whose life I've touched, doing my travel through this thing called life.
Come on, man, that's honorable. So let's transition, man, and talk about it's a segment I do called the rap game. And growing up with Gary and just all the influence of the rap culture, what's kind of, and I do this, I ask most entrepreneurs, like, what's the bar, or who's the artist, or what song that you inspires you, when you close the deal, when you done with the vision is there, or when you hop in your car and you just feeling good, and when you need that motivation, who is that you listen? You sent me a song today, and I like it too.
Well, from that vision of music, I would say. And we take it, there's nothing in the world like black music. You know what I'm saying? We got it all. We got the love songs, we got the blues, we got rap music, we got R&B. But for me, I think one of those songs that probably triggered it for me, because sometimes you could be in a situation where poverty all around you, and yet and still you might not be impoverished. You know what I'm saying? And so you're not impoverished because of the way you think. And those thoughts have to be coming from somewhere. Cousins, I've been on a lot of traveling with my cousins when I was a kid. And so some of those
riding
things.
In the station wagon.
Riding in the
back in the station wagon.
Riding in the Buick. Stuff like that.
Roadmaster.
Some of the Cadillacs. I was fortunate enough to do all of that. But when you paint those pictures of what you're saying is the music. One of the I don't think they get enough credit, in my opinion, and because if it weren't for Grandmaster Flash, You know, Don't Push Me because I'm close to the edge.
Yeah.
That song, I think, should be in the Hall of Fame. I think that song should be immortalized because I think that song triggered it all for black people because they painted a picture that, well, they was saying something that we all was living at the time. Well, somebody was living because of redlining, because of banking laws, where blacks couldn't get housing and all that stuff. Yeah. So I would say Grandmaster Flash, of course, Run DMC. Okay. They had a real big effect on the way I probably think, you know, even if I record and listen, rewind in my car and listen to some of their old songs. If I'm listening to Sirius Satellite, you know, LL Cool J, of course, Tupac, you know, you got Biggie, you know, but Jay-Z, I think his music is just, it's not music, in my opinion. He not making music because he's thinking in his songs. It's his thoughts that's powerful. It ain't got nothing to do with the songs. They just put a beat to his thoughts. And his thoughts would elevate him on a different plane. It got nothing to do with the song. His message is I don't want to say inspiring, it's empowering. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. His songs and his messages in his songs, he went from poverty, he went from selling drugs, he went from all of these things to now, guess what? If you was painting a picture, you say he went from, I would say just an ordinary picture to a Mozart or to a Rembrandt or a Monet, something like that. Yeah. And that's what and it's because of his thoughts. And thoughts are planes, so it's just, it get higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. You know, so to the point to where it's not that he's untouchable, it's just that his thoughts is so amazing, so different. So again, remember I told you, when you get two thoughts together, you make a bomb. You know what I mean? Okay. And it ain't necessarily got to be two people together. It can be two thoughts together. Yeah. You know, and I think one of young guy that's coming up and now, he's the same way. Drake. Yeah. Drake is Tupac, Biggie, all of them rolled into one guy. You know what I mean? Without the message of hustling, putting yourself on the line to get something that, you know, a materialistic thing to where you put your life on the line. You know, not only you end up destroying your life because destruction begets destruction. Come on. So you keep on making destructive music. In the end, we see it happen to all the young rappers to where they end up being destroyed by the very things they say. And I think Jay-Z thoughts it went from destruction to a higher plane to elevation. And I think that's where he stands out more so than anything. And he got the same thing I got. And I say it all the time. When my money catch up with my thoughts, then I'll probably be a billionaire myself.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Drop the bomb. I know the formula. Drop the bomb. And speaking of Jay-Z, and we're gonna wrap it up in a minute. So the question is asked, you know, the famous Jay-Z question, would you rather have $500,000 or dinner with Jay-Z? I'm asking you. $500,000 or dinner with Jay-Z?
I think if you even in a position to even be able to make that choice, you know, if he was standing here today and he said, okay, well, Winfred, would you rather have the $500,000 or would you rather have dinner with me? Well, with all due respect, Jay-Z, I'm going to take the $500,000 because I'm going to take the $500,000 and apply my thoughts to the $500,000. And if I apply my thoughts and the way they are and make the right moves because they up and down. You know, I lost $500,000 10 times. So it ain't like, you know, you got to get adjusted. So the money part will be more important than me sitting down because what if I could take my $500,000 and buy dinner with Warren Buffett? Ooh. What if I take my $500,000 and donate $200,000 and I'm in the same room with Obama and Oprah and all the rest of them? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the money will be used for a vehicle for me in order to elevate where I'm going.
Wow.
especially on a business level.
Wow. Man, look, we could talk for hours, and we have had conversations, and it's just amazing how this all came together. We, connected in a place where I probably was shocked to see you, and you were shocked to see me, and it came together. This conversation came together, man. I asked you to be a guest, and you all with it, and you've been dropping a lot of knowledge, a lot of bombs. Man, it's been a great conversation, man. So where can we get your cigars? What can tell us a little bit more how we can order them, website, or give us location where we can.
My first thing is they building a website, and it's winfredowens.com, and the cigars will be probably there in I would say mid-November.
Okay.
Or the first week of Thanksgiving, the last week of November. So you can purchase them here at times. I'm here at the lounge pretty much all day.
Give the address.
4469 Broadway, Gary, Indiana, and 46409. And it's K's Lounge / Jewel Cigar Lounge. And so the website will be, forthcoming very soon. So I look forward to it. I think I got a great product, and I think people will enjoy it. But we can still, if any other questions that you got, because in my box, I have a thing that says there are 58 facets to a diamond, and I'm just one of them, and that one facet that's off, then it will be 57. So 57 is just probably a cheaper diamond,
Come on.
And I want to do some amazing things with my life. I want to be able to help people. And I think the best is yet to come for me, even though sometimes I feel like Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness, because the downs, when they down, they really down. And nobody understand, when you down. They always think that you up. I don't put on no face to say that I'm up all the time, because, I know it's a roller coaster ride. I got my seatbelt on. Yeah. Everybody else might not have theirs on. You know what I'm saying? I know what my safety net is.
Yeah.
And other people, sometimes the altitude, everybody can't go up there.
Yeah.
That's why everybody don't have a personal jet.
Come on.
Only a selected few. I'll be in that number one day.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Man. Well, man, Brother Winfred, man, Mr. Owens, man, it's definitely been a pleasure, my friend. Man, and we're going to do this again, soon. We're going to walk through the cigar lounge, and I'm going to enjoy, being at home, man, here at K's / Q's. Look, for all my people, we know it is Q's, but now that y'all officially know it, it's K's Lounge right here, Ultra Lounge, which, the outside is beautiful. A lot of people come through here, man, and just have a great time. So, man, it's been an honor, a privilege, and just talking to you, man, chopping it up, and we got more to come, man. So, appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time, man.
Thanks for having me, and I look forward to our next 10 interviews.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
By the time the 10th one, I'll be on another playing field.
Come on, man. Yeah. Come on, man. Well, hey, man, shout out to everybody. It's your man, Corey Williams. Thanks for tuning in to another fire episode of Convo with Sino. We out.
Peace.